Hello, hello. I hope everyone is having the most fabulous day today. I am jumping on today to have a discussion around HSC results and data analysis. Now, I know that we're only in like week 1/2 of a brand new term here in New South Wales, but I know HSC results and data analysis is still looming around. If you're in a school that gets you to unpack your HSC results, that gets you to have a look at what averages were, did the kids improve, how did they go in individual item analysis, I'm pretty sure that at some point that would be official. They would have to do some sort of documentation around what your HSC results looked like last year. Now, if you haven't done that before, it's an absolute eye-opener. And I reckon for probably about 10 years of my teaching career, we didn't actually do a HSC analysis, which I regret. Obviously, NESA, Board of Studies, didn't bring it out into like further in the piece, but as soon as it came out, it has been the most powerful tool for me as an educator, for me as a CAFS teacher, 16 years experience in the classroom, seeing those results and kind of getting an idea of how my kids went, but also giving me direct feedback about what I wasn't doing. So if you don't know what RAP data is, RAP is the results analysis package that you guys get access to. Every HSC teacher should have access to this. And if you don't, please advocate for yourself and ask your principal, your head teacher, your deputy, your admin, someone to enable you to have access to it, because it gives you a snapshot of how your students went in the HSC. And it shows previous years as well, which I absolutely love. Seeing that tracking, seeing those trends, what's increased, what's decreased, what's changing, what's happening in your option. We get access to that as a classroom teacher. Now, you have the right to actually see your HSC results that your students got last year and subsequent years. So please make sure you have a chat to your principal to enable you to have access to that. They have to give you a separate login. You're also on Schools Online. You also have to have separate access to certain functions within the RAP data analysis. And what I'd really love for you to have a look at is the item analysis. Now, I have a full spreadsheet for you guys that you can find at the Learning Network Collaborative, my Facebook group, where I've shared with you guys, I've unpacked the whole HSC CAFS exam from the first multiple choice question all the way through to all of the options. I've shown you, I've indicated with colors what question it's part of, and then you can kind of do that individual item analysis. I'm going to be really honest, it is a bit of a tedious task to actually sit down and look at each question. So it's by question. So you go into question 1 and it shows you what students either got it right or wrong. Go into question 26, say, and it shows you what students got 6 out of 6, 4 out of 6, 5 out of 6, 3 out of 6. And you kind of have to individually go through it like that to work out what they got per question. It's always good to have a colleague, one of your CAFS colleagues next to you, or maybe your head teacher or your coordinator with you, and you can kind of do a bit of number crunching alongside that. So if you'd love to access that, come and join our private Facebook group for CAFS teachers, the Learning Network Collaborative. Just search it up in Facebook and you'll find us. And then once you get access, I'll pin it to a post so you can then access that particular data. That will save you hours and hours and hours and hours of sifting through the paper, working out the bits that it's in, but also working out each individual item, each individual mark that the kids got. It will give you direct feedback. It'll give you feedback on what's been working, what's going well. I'll use my win feedback analogy, my strategy. What's going well for you guys as a cohort, your cohort at the time, for you as a teacher, your school, what improvements need to be made with that. So when I've used item analysis, we used it one year, probably back in 2017 possibly, and we realised that our option was letting us down. So we originally did individuals on work. I went on mat leave, and what happened? They changed it on me. That was okay because it enabled me to have an insight into different options. So we changed it, but we then started to look at our item analysis for the option and realised that our Part C, our 15 marker, was significantly lower than the rest of the paper. What we did that year had a huge impact on our results in subsequent years at the school. So we changed the order of our scope and sequence. We brought the option forward and made sure we explicitly taught those skills that are needed for the option. We explicitly taught that essay in that Part C. we started to look at what we could do to actually improve that Part C. That was part of it. We also realised that we should have made that and embedded that into our IRP, and that's where the whole conversation started around that strategic approach to the IRP. Now, I know that over 260, I think, teachers now have taken that course, Strategic Approaches to the IRP. That was part of it. That was all the result of looking at our option, looking at our RAP item analysis, and realising that was something that we need to improve on with our kids at our school. So that had a big impact on us. If you think that the multiple choice section is what's, maybe that your kids struggle with, then that might be a reflection on you. Are you explicitly teaching those skills? Maybe it's data. Maybe the kids are really struggling with tables and graphs. That's something for you to work on as a teacher. So I love the RAP analysis data package. It has given me so many insights into my own teaching, into the cohort at the time, but also moving forward for us as a school. And we've made some really big decisions. Well, I've made some big decisions when I was in the classroom based on our RAP analysis package. It also shows you trends as well, obviously percentages with, Band 6 to Band 1 and what changed and happened over the year. You can kind of see those patterns emerge. So it is phenomenal. Again, I can share with you guys a spreadsheet to use with your RAP analysis data, so you can actually have that happening together. Now, I'm going to be having on our podcast, the CAFS podcast, Graham Wright, who is doing lots of work in schools around item analysis and data and that sort of thing. So keep an eye out for that one. But also, if you're a CAFS Collective member, you'll also get access to a session in week 3 of this term where we look at what you can do to actually look at your item analysis. As a presenter in professional learning, I can't look at your data. It is private, but we can look, we can kind of sit down together and I can give you the tools to actually unpack your own RAP analysis and the data that comes with that. It will give you so much information in terms of what to do to move forward, what to do to make strategic decisions around scope and sequencing. So like I said, we pulled our individuals, social impact of technology, and we had it as our second topic rather than leaving it to the end. We explicitly taught skills within that unit of work. We, moved our strategic approaches to the IRP into the option. We also looked at groups in context and realised there was typically, not always, typically 2 big questions in the HSC around the category B groups in context. That enabled us with our RAP data to make decisions around what assessments we're going to do across the year, because we saw that that was a gap. Our kids were really struggling with things like assess, analyse, those higher order questions, the 8 markers, the 7 markers. We could then target that with our kids with formative assessment, with small tasks, with activities, and then obviously assessment tasks. So looking at your data is really important for you as an educator, for you as a CAFS teacher, to move you forward in your journey, but also things that you can tweak and change for cohort to cohort. So again, keep an eye out on possibly a couple of podcasts on HSC analysis, but also what you can do to use your data to inform your practice. Now, I know that data is something that we are focusing on in schools. It never goes away. Information and data is always around us. But this is one time that I really want you to actually listen and to invest the time and take the time in actually going through that data, especially your item analysis. It will, you will unpack so many gems inside that particular package. So again, if you are part of the CAFS Collective, I have a whole masterclass ready for us for next week on that. But if you're thinking about joining the CAFS Collective later on, don't hesitate. It is my CAFS membership to support CAFS teachers across New South Wales with that ongoing coaching and support and community with resources, masterclasses, your one-stop spot for everything you need in CAFS. So you can head over to learnet.com/collective to sign up, and it is something that will just provide you with so much support for your CAFS journey. So I would love to hear what you're working on in terms of your CAFS data. Have you had a look at it? Has it given you any insight into what your CAFS crew did last year and what you're going to do to move forward and what you're going to change and tweak? Head over to thelearnet.com to check out my resources and everything I have to support you in improving those results. But I'd love to hear from you. So head over to Instagram, send me a DM and say, hey, Kel, this is what I'm thinking. This is where we went for multiple choice. our kids really struggled with groups and context questions, or we need to do some work on research methodology, send me a DM at kellybell.coach, and I'll be able to have a chat to you about that. But in the meantime, have the most magic day. See you later.